Hi, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is a paid request from my friend John, the Zero Cool. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it and I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. So thank you. Sorry for the lateness of it. I'm trying to get these out as soon as I possibly can. As I say, it could be pretty much any type of video. Feel free. And John, very nice guy here, the Zero Cool. He wanted to know, what year did I think was a better film year? 1989 or 1990? Now that was a tough choice because they're both great years. I think most people with that question would say 1989 because the summer alone is considered one of the best summers for movies. Because you had Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Batman, Back to the Future Part 2, Lethal Weapon 2, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Ghostbusters 2. You had a James Bond film, License to Kill. That's just in the summer. That's not including films that I love, Leviathan, Shocker, Tango and Cash. I think, was Kickboxer that year? I think so. A lot of great stuff to come out that year. I mean, if I just go through this list of American films, we have films like Gleam in the Tube, which I've always enjoyed. That's a film that needs a release in the US on Blu-ray. The Fly 2, I think, is a good sequel. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. The Burbs, which is my favorite Tom Hanks film. You have Dead Bane, underrated Don Johnson film. You have Heathers, which is a good dark comedy. Cyborg, I've always been a fan of. Kickboxer, Field of Dreams, Pet Sematary, Red Scorpion. I like Canine. I like The Horror Show. See No Evil, Hear No Evil, one of my favorite comedies. Friday Night Part 2. And yet, Ghostbusters 2 came out, and then the next week, Batman and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids came out at the same time. And Weekend at Bernie's, License to Kill, Lock Up, The Abyss, Uncle Buck, Casualties of War. Just a lot of good stuff in this year. Tango and Cash, of course. So yeah, I think because of that summer alone, people would go, well, it's definitely 1989. But when I saw his question, when I saw his request, the year that popped up was 1990. I think because while there's a lot of films I love in 1989, including some that are my favorites, like Leviathan and See No Evil, Hear No Evil, and a lot of stuff I mentioned, 1990 just popped up with like horror films of that year. There's a theme with 1989, while there's some good, there is a lot of bad too, in terms of Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, Chud 2, Bud the Chud. There's a lot of sequels that I don't like of horror films in 1989. And while there's a lot of horror films I love, when I think of 1990, I think of The First Power, Lou Diamond Phillips, which I think is very underrated. I think of Tremors, which I've always a favorite of mine. Jacob's Ladder. Like, I adore Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder is easily one of my favorites of all time. Stephen King's Graveyard Shift, I've always loved. In fact, if I look, Arachnophobia, I adore Arachnophobia. And while there's stuff I love in 89 and 90, when I think of Arachnophobia and The First Power and Jacob's Ladder and The Exorcist 3, Flatliners, Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. Maniac Cop 2 is a great one. Misery is a great one. The 1999 Living Dead. Predator 2. That's the thing, as much as I love the 89 horror films, I mean, it's action, but Predator 2 is one of my all-time favorites. Watchers 2 is one of my childhood favorites. Graveyard Shift, a childhood favorite. Jacob's Ladder. Just more comes out for me personally as a childhood favorite of, while I love Leviathan and Shocker and stuff, horror film-wise, 89, there's just more that I gravitate towards. Like, so many times I watched Graveyard Shift and Tremors and Jacob's Ladder back to the day. Those are all from the same year. Same with Arachnophobia. Same with Watchers 2. And then stuff I found later, like Shockma and things of that nature. The Night of the Living Dead 1990. And of course there's bad films, just like there's bad films every year, but the horror sequels of 89 were so disappointing that I'm going to take a few points off. Halloween 5, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, I'll take some points off for that. So, for horror film wise, there's good stuff in 89. I will pit 1990 for horror films. And then action films. I love Batman and Tango and Cash and stuff of that nature. Two of my favorites of all time, Predator 2 and I Come in Peace, came out in 1990. You also had Total Recall with the titties, 3 titties. You got Die Hard 2. I fucked at The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. And it's like, while I like License to Kill, and I like Back to the Future 2, and I like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I like Total Recall more than them. I like Die Hard 2 more than them. I like Predator 2 more than them. Adventures of Ford Fairlane, I find more underrated than them. And towards the, like, Steven Seagal, Hard to Kill. Jean-Claude Van Damme had Death Warrant, which I'll say 89 was better for Van Damme. But yeah, Narrow Margin, RoboCop 2, The Rookie, and of course the film that also helped put it over the top, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is one of those, I don't want to say seminal, but one of those films from my childhood that really etched in my mind, being a big fan of the cartoon, being like some of my favorite characters, the way they were portrayed in 1990. You could easily say Batman is the better made movie, and I can't disagree with you, but personal wise, I like Ninja Turtles 1990 more, because they're my favorite characters, and the history I know a bit more of, and I can't help it. I gotta give it the Ninja Turtles. Now, comedy, while there are some good comedies in 1990, I would probably say 89, I like comedy more. Weekend at Bernie's, See No Evil, Hear No Evil and stuff. Okay, we look at 1990. Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, it says here. Now, some say that's not 1990. Downtown is an underrated one. Tremors, I think, is a classic. Hard to Kill is a lot of fun. If you're wondering what that, I'm cooking something, so don't worry. I just put it in. It'll take like 25 minutes to make anyway. Hunt for Red October is a good one. House Party I like. Blind Fury, which I kept thinking was 89, but here it says 1990. Because on Wikipedia it says 89, because it was in like probably 2 theaters. But really it debuted for everyone to see in 1990. So I'm going to put that in 1990. Screw it. I hate when they do that. It was in one festival in 1989, so it's a 1989 movie. Most people didn't get to see it until 1990, so call it 1990. God damn it. So Blind Fury, Ninja Turtles, The First Power, Short Time's an underrated one. Class of 1999 is a really good one. Cadillac Man. Total Recall. Gremlins 2. This has the better sequels. Die Hard 2, Predator 2, Robocop 2, Gremlins 2. Definitely a better year for sequels. Although I like Back to the Future 2. I like Lethal Weapon 2. I like these movies, well, some of them more. Most of them more. The Exorcist 3. Speaking of sequels. Men at Work, fun movie. Goodfellas. I mean, you got Goodfellas. I Come in Peace, all-time favorite of mine. Marked for Death, another good Seagal. Definitely a good year for Steven Seagal films. Marked for Death and Hard to Kill. Quigley Down Under, underrated Western. Night of the Living Dead, Graveyard Shift. Jacob's Ladder, I mentioned. Child's Play 2, another good sequel. Home Alone, of course. Misery. The Rookie, that's a good action film. Edward Scissorhands. Awakenings, good drama. Kindergarten Cop. I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what, this list is going to be based on what you like subjectively. What films do you like more per year? Again, with me, like they're both good years. There's a lot of great movies in both years. Again, I think most people picked 89 because of that summer, which was crazy to have all those films at the same time. But as much as I liked a lot of those films, again, I looked at my list of my favorite films of all time. I see how high on the list Predator 2 is. I Come in Peace is. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is. And then to have Total Recall and Tremors, how high that is. Like if I look up my list of my favorite films of all time, I mean, just to go with films from 1990, 1989, Predator 2 is number 4. That's 1990. I Come in Peace is 1990. That's number 6. Now Leviathan's number 7 is 89. But then Ninja Turtles, the first one, 1990, is number 12. Tremors. So of the top 15, well, hell, top 20. Let's go top 20. Top 20 favorite films of all time. There is Predator 2 is in there. I Come in Peace is in there. The first Ninja Turtles is in there. Tremors is in there. And Jacob's Ladder's in there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 of the top 20 favorite films of all time is from 1990. That's hard for me not to pick 1990 as my favorite year. Just the best, I mean, the best. There's no best of anything. It's all subjective, it's all opinion. It's more like, what's your favorite year? Again, I would say for comedy, I would pick 1989. Like I said, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, and Weekend at Bernie's, and other stuff. Although 1990 had some good ones, like Home Alone, and Men at Work, among others. But I would say 89, I'll pick more. Horror-wise, as much as I love Leviathan and I love Shocker, I can consistently Tremors, Graveyard Shift, and Exorcist 3, and Child's Play 2. there's just more horror films of that year I like. And again, sequels, I thought it was a better sequel year. Predator 2, Die Hard 2, Roll Cop 2, Gremlins 2, Child's Play 2, compared to Elm Street 5, Friday the 13th Part 8, Halloween 5. Although you did get Back to the Future 2, Lethal Weapon 2, so those are good. So again, like, it's you. Which do you like more, Ninja Turtles or Batman? I like Ninja Turtles. I'm a Ninja Turtles guy. As a drama, love stories, Goodfellas and Ghost. I think both of those are great. Great films. Always enjoyed Ghost. Always thought it was one of the better love stories. And Goodfellas is an excellent movie. While 89 has the better Van Damme films, while I do like Death Warrant, I do like Kickboxer and Cyborg more, you do have some good Steven Seagal films in 1990 when he was worth a shit. Hard to Kill and March for Death. Then you got cool stuff like Adventures of Ford Fairlane and Total Recall and The Rookie, among other stuff. I mean, I like Honey and Shrunk the Kids, but that's not a film. While I like it, I don't rewatch it a whole lot. I like Lethal Weapon 2, but I actually like Lethal Weapon 1 and 3 more, and there's other action films I like more. I like Lethal Weapon 2. I like Back to the Future 2, but a lot of those films I mentioned in 1990, I would watch over it. I like Batman, but yeah, I like Die Hard 2 more, I like Ninja Turtles more, I like Total Recall more, among other stuff, so... Like I said, I don't know how else to word it that way. Like if I think of the Oscars, I don't know who gives a shit about the Oscars, but just curious. Like the Oscars of 1999 and the Oscars of 1990. Although to be fair, technically I should say Oscars 1991 because those were talking about the films that came out in 1990. There's always like a little bit of that year difference. So like the Oscars of 1990 honor the ones in 89. So in 89 and 90, what all won? I don't know, just out of curiosity. So 89, the nominees were Driving Miss Daisy, Born on the 4th of July, Dead Poets Society, Field of Dreams, and My Left Foot. In 1990, it was Dancing with Wolves, Awakenings, Ghost, The Godfather 3, and Goodfellas. Now, I don't mind Driving Miss Daisy for what it is. Born on the 4th of July, I don't mind. Dead Poets Society's good. I like Field of Dreams. I would say I like Ghost more than any of those films. I like Goodfellas more than any of those films. I would say of those, for me, Field of Dreams would be my favorite of those in the 89 category. But at the same time, I like Goodfellas and Ghost more, and Awakenings is good. Like Best Actress, the movies Driving Miss Daisy, Camille, Claudel, Shirley Valentine, Music Box, Fabulous Baker Boys. But the films that came out in 1990, Kathy Bates won for Misery, which I really enjoyed Misery. That's another really good one. I'm trying to see, like... go down to other categories just to see what other films. Go down a bit. So 89, Little Mermaid, Born on 4th of July. Days of Thunder, that's another good one from 1990. I enjoy Days of Thunder. Home Alone, I think, is a classic. Christmas classic. I always like Flatliners. Those were 1990. '89 had Black Rain. That's a really good one. The Abyss I like. So, I mean, there is no wrong answer. They're both great choices. And '89 had The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren. But I like I Come in Peace more. And that was 1990. Like Dolph, I like The Punisher and Red Scorpion. That was '89. But I Come in Peace is my favorite. That was 1990. So I just... Like I said, there is no wrong answer at the end of the day. I gotta go with my boys, the Ninja Turtles. I gotta go with I Come in Peace and Predator 2 and those movies. I gotta go with 1990 for me. I mean, they're both hell of a years, but 1990 in particular. With the films I grew up with the films that I put on my mantle, not physically, but mentally, gotta go with that. So, like I said, there is no wrong choice. They're both great choices, great movie years. And what's sad, like all those films I mentioned, now look at what's coming out this year. Jurassic World, Rebirth, Fantastic Four, First Steps. That, in my opinion, look generic as fuck. Bland as fuck. Look like by the numbers, in my opinion. Or the Thing doesn't sound like the Thing. He sounds... that's a whole other thing. But with that said, what say you? Feel free to comment. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.